What Would I Do Without You? Chapter 7, Part 2. But all I could muster up, why do you think something is on my mind? Because the t shirt you are holding is, for one, way too big on you, and it has a picture of a big purple dinosaur. I didn't know you were into purple dinosaurs, he remarked. What? I looked down at the pink t shirt I was holding. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. I don't. What is this? I laughed when I finally came to my senses. That's what I was wondering, said James in a mockingly exasperated tone. I didn't want to talk to James about Aaron. Why is he asking me about him? I thought as I put the t shirt back on the rack and walked out of the store without him. Hey, wait up, exclaimed James as he hurried behind me. Dude, what's with you? Why are you and Aaron acting so weird? Did you guys have a fight or something? What do you mean? Why would we have a fight? Did we have a fight? I thought to myself. I mean, the last time I saw him, he jumped out of my car and left. Ever since then, he's been distant. Was that a fight? We had never fought before. Why would that be a fight? What in the actual hell was going on with James? I turned to James and said, Nah, man, we didn't fight. What would we fight about? He's a good friend of mine. Ours, I mean. Look, if you don't want to talk about it, then we don't have to, he asserted. There is literally nothing to talk about, James. By this time, I was starting to feel a little irritated. I didn't want to discuss Aaron with anybody. Why couldn't I just talk to Aaron about Aaron? I was lost in my feelings and thoughts, staring straight ahead when I saw Chris from a distance as we walked down the corridor. James was telling me something, but I had already tuned him out. I studied Chris's demeanor from afar and could tell that something was off. I'd known him too long. James was still yapping, but I had no idea what he was saying. Yeah, that sounds great, James. Listen, I have to get going. Can we talk later? Okay, great. See ya. And with that, I left him behind. I don't think I even gave him a chance to answer. As I advanced upon Chris, I called out to him, Hey, Chris. He looked up from his revere and seemed uncomfortable as he responded, Oh, hey. What are you doing? I stopped in front of him and looked around for his crew. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm sitting here thinking, he replied rudely. Why would you come to the mall to sit and think? Wouldn't you rather be at home doing that? I asked as I sat on the bench next to him. His head dropped in exasperation and said quietly, What do you want, Isaac? Nothing. It's just that I saw you here and I wanted to come over and see what was wrong, I said truthfully. Why would there be anything wrong? He answered as he looked at the floor. He sounded like he was in a trance. I could tell that he was pensive yet lost. He was here with me, but then again he wasn't. Listen, I know you. I probably know you better than you do. What's wrong? I spouted in response to his rudeness. He sat there saying nothing. I could tell that he wanted to, but nothing was coming out. Finally, after a few minutes, he said, She has cancer. What? Who? I asked with my brow furrowed in curiosity. My mom. My mother has cancer. Stage 4 ovarian cancer. I don't even know what that means, how it works, what it does. Nothing. All I know is that it isn't good. She is in trouble, Isaac, and I don't know what to do, he answered as he hung his head again. I didn't know what to tell him. All I could do was sit with him in silence. He had his elbows on his legs and his hands cradled his face. I could see the tears hit the floor by his feet. I put my hand on his back and said, I am so sorry, Chris. We sat for a good while. I noticed the mall was starting to fill up with more and more people walking around. And that's when I saw him, Aaron. He was standing there with his eyes trained in our direction. The look on his face as he saw me comforting Chris spoke volumes. He shook his head in disappointment and walked away. I wanted to run after him and explain what was happening, but I didn't want to leave Chris alone. Still, I needed to talk to him. I bent towards Chris' ear and said, Hey, Wait here. I will be right back. I ran in the direction that Aaron went just in time to see him exit the mall. By the time I walked out of the building, he had already gotten in his car and driven off. When I went back to the bench, Chris was also gone. I looked in all directions, but I couldn't find him. Oh, great. I didn't get to talk to Aaron, and now Chris isn't even here anymore, I thought to myself. I stood by the bench and worried that Aaron would think I was hanging out with Chris. I wanted to explain and maybe finally see what the hell was going on. This was my chance and reason to go see him. As I headed towards another exit, I spotted Chris with his group of monkeys. We made eye contact, but he acted like he didn't know me anymore. I don't have time for this, I told myself. As I drove towards Aaron's house, I worried over what to do if his dad was there. And then I wondered if I should even stop. I considered if he even wanted to talk to me. I was so confused. I figured that Aaron had a good head start before I left the mall, so I assumed he should be home already. As I turned the corner onto his street, I saw Aaron's car in the driveway. I parked my car right behind his and got out. I walked towards the front door and reached my hand out to ring the doorbell. Suddenly, I was startled by a voice behind me. Hey. I turned around and there was Aaron, next to his car. I stood there without saying a word. I couldn't think. I couldn't formulate words. My thoughts were completely gone. All I could see was him, and the way the sun was shining on his face. His eyes, those beautiful blue eyes. His hair was combed to the side with part of it falling on his forehead. His thick, beautiful rose-colored lips radiated. I could go on and on about this boy. He was perfect. There was a bemused look on his face. Are you going to stand there and block the entrance to my house? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Hey, so I saw you at the mall, I stammered. Yeah, I saw you too. His handsome face didn't look so bemused now, and he tried to walk past me. It triggered my own frustrations with the situation. Wait, so are you going to keep ignoring me? Like, is this the way it's going to be from now on? I mean, just tell me something. I threw my hands up in the air. Oh, so now I'm the one that is to blame. What about you hanging out, talking to, and hugging the guy that has made my life a living hell? So what now? You two are best buddies? His eyes narrowed and his voice rose as he asked me. What are you talking about, Aaron? No one is blaming anyone for anything. And for your information, I was at the mall with James, but saw Chris sitting by himself, and I could tell something was wrong. So I went over to talk to him. Did you notice he was crying? I said loudly and angrily. No, I didn't hang around long enough to see, he answered with an attitude. Well, he was crying because he just found out his mother has stage 4 cancer. He is very scared, and all I did was put my hand on his back to try to comfort him. You have to understand that Chris and I were very good friends at one time. Yeah, he's an asshole now, but if you knew him from before, you would realize that the kid is just lost. So, yeah, I was sitting with him because it was a decent thing to do. I was stunned to realize how tense and stern my body language was. Aaron only stared at me. It was like he wanted to keep fighting or something. And even though his mouth opened as if to say something, nothing came out. I could tell something was wrong with Aaron now. I softened my stance and voice before asking, What is wrong, Aaron? Why are you ignoring me and the rest of the gang? He looked down and said, Nothing is wrong, as he walked over to the side of the house. Okay, fine. Maybe nothing is wrong. But by the way you have been acting, I can tell something is up. I mean, our friends can tell something is going on. I tried to reason with him. Why do you say that? Have you all been talking about me? Anger flared up in his eyes, and his shoulders tensed. No, we haven't been gossiping about you, but they did ask me if I had spoken to you, and they asked me if you're okay because no one hears from you anymore. I lowered my voice. Why did you give me this charm if it's so easy to drop me as a friend? We are friends. You've been the greatest one I've ever had. Suddenly, his shoulders slackened, and he looked defeated. Then why do you avoid me? If I'm such a good friend, why are you shutting me out? I told him as I stepped closer to him. I just have a lot on my mind, that's all, he said as he turned away from me and let out a deep sigh. Look, man, if you don't want to talk about it yet, that's fine. Just don't avoid me and shut me out like that. I debated saying this next part, but I needed him to know. It really fucking sucks that we don't hang out or talk. I crossed my arms as I told him. He kept his head down, looking at the floor. Finally said, "You're right. I'm sorry that I've been horrible to you. You don't deserve that." Even though he didn't see it, I gave him a small, reassuring smile. Don't worry about it. We don't even have to talk about it anymore. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay, that we are okay. I told him as I dropped my arms and stepped closer to him once again. I couldn't stop myself from wrapping my arms around him, but he flinched and pushed me off with an ouch. Dude, I didn't even squeeze at all. I was low-key offended. No, I wasn't expecting that, he stuttered, flushed and looking towards the street. Immediately, I remembered the black eye and knew what was going on. Don't lie to me. What did he do to you? You don't know what you're talking about, Isaac. He glared at me, fury clouding his eyes. Your father, what did he do to you? Instinctively, I puffed up my chest, ready for I don't know what. All I knew was that I was furious that Aaron had been hurt. Nothing. I could tell he was upset, but he wouldn't leave. In retrospect, he could have easily walked into his house, but he didn't. Prove it. Pick up your shirt, I told him as I stepped towards him and grabbed at the bottom of his shirt to lift it. No! He raised his voice in protest and pushed my hands away. Why not? What? Are you kidding me? Let me see. I raised my voice, demanding he let me. I reached over, attempting to lift it once again, and he pushed me away this time. Get off of me. What's wrong with you? I saw anger, hurt, and pain cross his face all at the same time. I mustered up the courage to ask. He hit you again, didn't he? What happened this time? I thought he was going to counseling and was getting better, I finished sarcastically as I turned away from him. He is going, and he is getting better. Kind of. He is under a lot of stress at work and gets irritated very easily. I heard him behind me trying to excuse his father's actions. I turned back to look at him and then spat. You need to stop with the excuses. It's not good for anyone. What are you going to do when he beats your little brother? I could tell that he was fuming. I think it's time for you to go, he uttered through gritted teeth. Wait, hold on, I said to him as he walked towards the front door. Aaron, wait, I said, practically begging him. But he didn't. He opened the door and went in. Before I knew it, he was out of sight, and I was left standing alone. What the hell just happened? I thought to myself. I didn't see Aaron for the rest of the summer. I guess maybe I went too far talking about his father that way. I didn't know what to think of it. I was blessed with such a loving and caring family that I could not comprehend what he was going through. My loving nature told me he needed a friend, but my naivety could not understand why he was pushing me away. I would have dropped everything and ran to him if he asked me to. After that incident, I stayed home and hung out with my family, especially my grandfather. It was great to have time to spend with my abuelo, but still, I missed Aaron. There wasn't a day that I didn't think about him. Thank you for listening to Chapter 7, Part 2 of What Would I Do Without You? If you're enjoying the story, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might enjoy it as well. Join me next time for Chapter 8, where Isaac learns just how serious Aaron's situation has become. Until then, thank you for listening.